Hello and welcome to reason number 12 people stop having babies, and that is physical appearance. I can relate to this in that it is hard to not be vain. That's something that I feel like I've struggled with, especially being an athlete. I'm supposed to be fit and strong and all those things, and I do my best to do those things. However, I have stretch marks. I gain weight. I don't have the, toned muscles that I do I would like to have after I have a baby, but I don't let that stop me from having those children. I've never once regretted any child that I've ever had. And one thing that, and I'm probably going to step on some toes when I say this today, but I feel like in today's society, doctors and people in general treat pregnancy as like an illness. It's not an illness, and in fact, it can actually be healing to your body. I would encourage you to look up statistics on women with cervical cancer or breast cancer. The more children that you have, the longer you breastfeed, all of those cancer risks significantly decrease. Again, it's not a catch-all for everybody, but it has shown that women that, like I said, breastfeed and have babies are less likely to get those cancers than others. So look that up if you don't believe me. Do your own research. But also, I've seen, and I wish I could find it, but it was like a meme that basically showed a bunch of overweight women, in their postpartum diapers and things, saying, that pregnancy did this to them, but the children are worth it and all these things. I'm going to say it, and I'm sure I'm going to make some people mad, but I'm going to say it anyway. Pregnancy didn't do that to you. Ooh, if you're overweight, now I know that there are medical issues. I'm not talking about the exception. But if you are overweight, pregnancy did not make you overweight. Yes, you gain weight during pregnancy. You're carrying a child. Your blood volume increases. You have fluid that baby is being protected in. But it didn't make you overweight. It was probably because you were living an unhealthy lifestyle and aren't eating foods that you should, aren't getting proper exercise, all of those things. So can a baby cause stretch marks? Absolutely. But it doesn't make you fat. So again, do our bodies bounce back? Do I look like I did when I was 19 years old? No, absolutely not. But it's not an excuse. The whole premise of all of that is we are vain and we, want our bodies to look a certain way, and then therefore we won't have more children because they won't look that way. It's just not a godly way of thinking. We have to treat our bodies as temples, like God says, but then if we don't look like we did when we were 19, that's okay, and it's a good thing. We need to embrace the fact that God has made our bodies as women to bear these children, and it's such a blessing and such a gift from Him. So, for me, I have not let that stop me from having children. I also am very diligent on doing the things that I need to be healthy. In fact, I didn't pay much attention, honestly, to nutrition and supplements and all of that kind of thing until I started having children. And it was like, oh my goodness, my body, like as much as I was an athlete and required things of my body as I was training and doing those things, my body is now growing a human, or it's feeding a baby. Like this baby that I just had, Miss Talia, fully depends on me and my milk supply for her to grow solely for 6 months. I don't introduce solid, this is just my personal choice, I don't introduce solid foods until that baby is 6 months old. So she fully depends on me. So I better be fueling my body with what it needs to in order to produce that milk. So again, we, and this is probably a topic for another day, and I would love to do some videos of how to maintain a healthy pregnancy. And now that I'm postpartum, doing what I'm doing postpartum to help with recovery and all of that, replenishing my minerals and nutrients and all those things after having a baby. So maybe I will work on some of those videos. But the point is, and God also says that our bodies are living sacrifices. So embracing the fact that God made me a woman and made my body to bear these children, and not stifling that. You know, some people would love to have children and they can't. So not taking that blessing for granted, but allowing God to determine, you know, how many children we have. So it is a blessing. Don't let social media and the thought that you have to look a certain way, you know, after pregnancy and you know, that your body has to be, you know, just this mold that and this pressure that we put on ourselves. Don't let that stop you from having more children if you want more. So I hope that that blesses you today. Take the pressure off of yourself to not play the comparison game. Just embrace the style of body that God has given you, whether it's tall, short, thicker, skinny, you know, bigger chested, thinner chested, whatever He has for you. You know, and how boring would it be if we all looked the exact same, if all of our hair was the same, or all of, you know, our bodies look the same. I'm so thankful for the variety that God has created in all of us, and we all are uniquely beautiful the way that He made. So embrace the beautiful things that God has uniquely given you, and have those babies if that's where God is leading you, because ultimately it is up to Him. So be blessed today, and we will see you back tomorrow for day 13.